Hello, good morning. I was brushing up on one of my books that I had purchased on writing, and it's called A Writer's Coach by Jack Hart. And it's not one of the more expensive books that I have on writing, but it's one of the best. For anyone who's getting into journalism or maybe writing blogs or small articles, it's a really, really good book. And I I would highly suggest that to anyone that just needs something to brush up to kind of clean up what they're writing. And and anyway, what was funny is, so I was reading a chapter on unnecessary words, and most of us do this in conversation. We do it, but you see it a lot in writing when somebody tries to put too much emphasis on something. And what they do is they use unnecessary words to put emphasis on it. And the result is that you get the opposite of what you're going for. So if you worked for a car lot, or if you worked for some type of shop or whatever, and you had a sale, you would not say it's a sales event. You would just say it's a sale. And a lot of times you see ads where it'll say, this is a big sales event coming up, or something to that effect. Okay, so now the proper way to do that is that you would emphasize one or the other. What you would do is, if you wanted to use both terms, if you wanted to use sales and event, you would be best to lead in with the event and just say, yeah, we have an event coming up. This is a big event. This is a big deal coming up, this event. And then you finish out later on in your article or your advertisement, you finish out with saying a sale. It's a big sale. But you leave out the event. So a sales event is just a sale, but you want people to think that it's bigger than that, right? But if you list everything as a sales event, that minimizes the effect of the emphasis of the sale, the word sale itself. So that's why you don't say it's a sales event. Okay, so I was looking for examples of this, and then I had forgotten about it. And I was watching a video on missing time. And this is about how in history books, whatever, there's segments of time sometimes that are left out, like centuries, where they go back and they're like, well, what happened to, this century to that century, that kind of thing. Excuse me. So what happened is I stumbled upon this video, and the opening line of the video, and this was a well-scripted video, but the opening line was, in a fractured, divided world. Okay, so now think about that. In a fractured, divided world. Okay, well, if something's fractured, it's already divided. So now if you say something's divided, it's not necessarily fractured. So there's a difference there. But if you're starting out with in a fractured, divided world, you're better to just say in a fractured world. And if you look at the way the syllables flow, if you look at the way the cadence, the timing of it hits, it's much more powerful. It's there's more emphasis on it to leave out divided. And to say that something is fragmented and divided is trite. And it's unneeded. So you would just say, in a fractured world. And I thought this was interesting because this guy had started with like a really bad example, well, a good example, I should say, of when somebody does that, when they use unnecessary words. So if you're writing articles, or if you're even in speech, talking to people, if you really want to have emphasis on what you're saying, sometimes less is more. And so anyway, I don't want to dogpile that channel or that video or whatever. It was a pretty good video, but I thought that was funny. In a fractured, divided world. So in a fractured world, that's all you need to say. So anyway, everybody rock on. Have a good day.